Hentai! Whether you're an aficionado of the medium or just a casual fan, it's no secret that the Japanese depictions of despicable acts have a home in the hearts of many. So with that being said, it just begs the question, what can we do with that in a video game? Now, the matter of laying pipe in a video game is a bit of a strange one, because it's rarely even attempted, and when it is, it's usually just a lame visual cutscene. I'm looking at you, Cyberpunk. Video games are a medium that have practically no boundaries. Through video games, you can perform superhuman feats. You can explore the worlds of media that you've fallen in love with. You can be a horse and do a funny dance. But you can't put away hours packing tuna. Or at least, you can't do it in a gratifying way. The best video games make whatever you're trying to accomplish feel good to do. Grand Theft Auto, shooting cops, feels good. Animal Crossing, creating a village and managing your townsfolk, feels pretty good. Overwatch, losing 20 ranked matches in a row and dropping back to bronze doesn't feel very good, but you get the point. Good games make you feel nice and satisfied after you do what it wants you to do. If you do everything the game wants you to do, and at the end you're just agitated and annoyed, then what good is the game? And that's where my beef comes in with baking the potato in video games. Either you get a quick, kinda saucy cutscene, or some games have you put in button prompts, and I don't know if anyone really enjoys these past the small peek of a boob you get. And you could be thinking to yourself, but RV, the market for the games you're looking for exists. And well, you'd be correct, that market does exist. But it's garbage, and with the death of Flash, half of those games are going to be gone, left to the ether anyways. All these games that you speak of have janky controls that completely alienate the player from the experience. Well, all except for one. Yeah, we're talking about this one today. Whether it be through Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, Kitty Cat Gaming, or just the fact that it's one of the few games actually banned from Twitch, I feel like everyone has some snippet of HuniePop in the back of their brains somewhere. A few years ago, I rediscovered this game and it was like a sleeper agent being told a code word to wake up. All of it just came flooding back through me. In October of 2013, Ryan Coons, or as he's better known on the internet nowadays, the HuniePop dev, started a Kickstarter for a match 3 puzzle game focused around dating, then promptly laying with the finest of anime girls. It's a pretty niche topic, all things considered, but it managed to raise over double of its initial Kickstarter funding goal. Self-described as a part dating sim, part puzzle game with RPG-like elements and a visual novel-style presentation, HuniePop manages to be the game that completely restores my faith in someone's ability to create a game of this nature. They made a game about boning chicks that is actually satisfying to play. Not to mention, it's one of the best match 3 puzzle games available on the market right now. Two genres that are almost completely tainted by the worst the game creating community has to offer have been mixed wonderfully into an experience that is worth a playthrough by any 20-something horny enough to look at naked girls, but not horny enough to do anything about it. In other words, HuniePop saved the world of not safe for work games and match 3 puzzlers. So how does HuniePop manage to be the top of the top when it comes to rocking the bods of fictional lovelies? Well, it highlights 3 important pieces of the process that make it very enjoyable to get it on. To start, dating. I think my biggest beef with these games is that it just kinda starts, you RVRock the bed, and then it ends. However, the plot of this game revolves around you being such a nerdy degenerate who can't pick up chicks that you need a love fairy to guide you in the right direction. A seat that I sit in all too proudly. But where this divulges from those other games is that you actually go around and talk to the girls, learn their relationships with each other, learn about the girls themselves, their favorite things, their favorite foods, their favorite drinks. And then you take them on dates, see their favorite outfits, see their favorite activities to do. Half of this game is learning all about that one person you want to bring to Pound Town. One thing I've always noted as being important in a video game is making you like the characters it coerces you to spend time with. And HuniePop does that in spades. The characters are a bit flat, and you never see them truly interact with each other outside of their introduction cutscenes, something the sequel seems to be fixing, but they provide just enough for you to be endeared by their personality quirks. Especially with some top-notch voice acting from the girls behind the booth. Typically, visual novels get you to like the characters through their animations or their renders, but this game, being fully voiced, gets you to love these characters through frankly lame animations. But while the animation may be a tad stilted, the character design and the art throughout the game looks great and perfectly reflects the style I opened this video with. You learn to love these characters and you barely see them outside their canned poses and lip flaps. But that's exactly what HuniePop does so well, and what any game should strive for when doing something similar. This highlights the importance of investment in a game like this. You want your audience to care about who they're about to smash. It's one thing to see a girl splayed out doing number 17, the spread eagle on your bed, but it's another thing for that girl to be the one you were pining for so long. And to really drive that point home, you have to go on 3 to 4 standard, no funny business dates to even get the chance to do the no pants dance with the girl of your choice. And this gives you a chance to feel out all the girls, and most importantly, figure out which one you love the most. But in order to do any of that, we'll have to talk about number 2, the gameplay. This might sound obvious, of course any good video game has good gameplay, but this gameplay provides you with something that a lot of games of this canoodling nature don't. And that is the ability to affect the outcome of your dates. With HuniePop, every date is a match 3 minigame that gets increasingly more difficult as time goes on. And within this minigame is a ton of systems that mean you have an active hand in every date you go on. Aside from Candy Crush Aphrodisiac Edition, you can give your girl gifts that will help things go along more smoothly on the date. But in order to give them gifts, you have to have these little blue raindrops called sentiment, which you can either get through matching these raindrops or by getting them drunk before the date. But certain girls will only drink at certain times and only drink certain drinks. And on top of all of that, you can level up your skills using honey, which you get from completing successful dates, or by talking to the girls. But you can only talk to the girls if they've had enough food, and the girls will only eat certain food. There's a lot to learn here, a lot of different systems in play at any given time that you have to juggle. But through these systems, you can also personalize your experience to a significant degree. Belly really likes romance and you want to rearrange her insides first? Max out your romance points and hope for the best. You keep on accidentally getting screwed by broken hearts? Reduce their ability to hurt you. You want to focus on huge plays? Upgrade your ability to make combo tiles. Much like an RPG, you can build up your tour de fuck in any way you want. And that shows the importance of agency in a game like this. All these systems and complications you have to face are the impetus of the HuniePop experience. You, and only you, get to choose how you're going to play. And there's a fear of failure. You might mess up and not be able to drain your nugs that night. There is consequence. There are stakes. There is difficulty. There is a reason for you to be playing and not just tapping out to watch something much steamier. This probably sounds a tad redundant, but you'd be amazed by how many games forget the game part of hide the zucchini. And that's just as important as everything else. And the final thing this game does to perfect the formula ties back to the other two in a big way. There's always something to do. All those systems I mentioned a second ago, well, they always happen at slightly different times, so you're constantly engaged in a feedback loop to improve your next date. You go out with Lola, you bomb, but you get some honey. You talk to her till she runs out of food, then you move on to your next date with your abilities enhanced, ready to go. And much like traditional RPGs, grinding is required, at least a little bit. This game can be really challenging if you aren't perfect on some of your item usage. But that's part of the fun. It's a challenging match 3 puzzle game, but not fuck you challenging so you have to run out of all your energy and try again tomorrow. It's just a solid time sink that rewards you with some anime titties if you stick with it for long enough. And all that shows the importance of engagement in a game like this. You need to have a reason to come back to the game after you've done the horizontal tango with the girl of your choice. This game never slows down in pace, it just ramps up. And once again, it's decently challenging. The ramping up goes for everything. As you get better at exploring the inside of these girls' panties, the harder the game makes it for you to do just that. It makes this game a remarkably incredible experience from beginning to end. So let's review. In order to make a good game featuring 2-person push-ups, you want your player to be invested in the person they bring back to the barnyard. So invested that they're willing to do some legwork in order to accomplish it. You need to give the player agency so that they can and will affect the outcome of all these interactions. And you need to keep your player engaged so the next night of bedroom Scrabble is just slightly out of reach. HuniePop manages to do all of this and more. Like, I didn't even mention a lot of the other systems that go into this game just to keep this video concise. But the best part is, not only did they save the world of sex games, they did it twice. If you liked what you saw here today, make sure to smash that subscribe button harder than you will these ladies later today. Take the virginity of the like button. And take the plunge down into the comment section to tell me what you think of HuniePop. Very obvious sequel tease is obvious. Be on the lookout for a HunieCam video sometime later this month, because while this game is so good, HunieCam Studio is where I've spent more of my time the past few years. But until then, I've been RVRocks, and thank you so much for watching. See ya!